Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So let's continue with the part 2 of PYQ analysis. The technique which we will be looking into is a correlation based questions technique. Here our objective is to correlate the question and the statements. Okay, so without delaying much, let's understand this question through an example. The example is with reference to perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances that are used in making many consumer products. Consider the following statements. So the key here is making consumer products. Consumer products is a key. So the first statement is saying PFAS are found to be widespread in drinking water, food, and food packaging materials. So we have to correlate the first statement with the question. So the first statement, in the first statement, they're talking about food packaging materials, drinking water and food. So these are related to consumer products. And as a result, I was able to correlate the first statement and consider the first statement is correct. And here, there are no red flags. Red flags are generally extreme statements. So I'll be talking about this extreme statements technique as well in the following slides. And the second statement is saying that PFAS are not easily degraded in the environment. So from the first statement, we saw that food packaging materials are there, and we have considered the first statement as correct. So now, so we can relate the second statement with the first statement as well as with the question. So they are saying that it is not easily degradable. So food packaging materials would consist of many materials like plastic or something which is mostly non-organic in nature. So as a result, so it becomes quite difficult for non-organic materials to get degraded. So and the third, so I'm considering this as a correct. I'm trying to correlate the second with a question. And the third statement is saying that persistent exposure to PFAS can lead to bioaccumulation in animal bodies. So since it cannot be easily degradable, so and they are also talking about food packaging materials and consumer products, so there are very high chances that the persistent exposure would result in bioaccumulation. So even this is correct. So I was able to correlate the question with the statements. So the answer is all the above. So while I was solving this question about PFAS, I was reading this PFAS for the first time in the examination. So I had never had any clue with respect to this PFAS. But I was able to correlate the extra information, the information apart from this PFAS, which is given in the question, with the options. So that is how we have to solve these kinds of questions through correlation. So let's solve the next question under the same heading. So this is about PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. So it is a scheme. So if a person doesn't know anything about the scheme, so let's see how that person can solve this question. The first statement, it says the target installation of 1 crore solar rooftop panels in residential sector. So here most important component which we have to consider is 1 crore, whether it is correct or not. Second is solar rooftop. So from the name of this scheme, we can identify that it is related to solar and bijli is electricity, solar power. So we have correlated this phrase with the question, and they are also talking about residential sector. So ghar could be correlated with residential sector. So the second statement, they're talking about the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy aims to impart training on installation, operation, maintenance and repair of solar rooftop systems at grassroots level. So the first half of the statement is talking of the ministry. So since we have correlated with the first statement that that the scheme is related to solar energy, so we can relate that understanding with Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So the first of the statement is correct. And then second is talking about training, installation, operation, maintenance, repair, and other things related to the rooftop. This is a generic statement, so from which we can consider the second statement as correct. And then third statement, it aims to create more than 3 lakh skilled manpower through fresh skilling and upskilling under the scheme component of capacity building. So this is also looks like a generic statement, but a factor which we have to consider is 3 lakhs. So here they are saying more than 3 lakhs. So we can consider that 3 lakhs would be a good number as far as creation of skill for such a big scheme is concerned. So as a result, we are taking the third statement as correct and second statement is correct. Now we have to see the first statement. So in the first statement, we have to still finalize whether to take 1 crore or not. So when this scheme was in use, 1 crore fact was actually making a buzz sound. So it is a popular fact. So if at all, if you know a fact, then this question would be very easy, or you have to take a call whether to go with 1 crore or not. So this is how you try to relate words which is found within this statement with the question. Okay. So next question is about organizations and to which ministry it belongs to. So we need to identify the correct pair. So the first pair is National Automotive Board. The ministry which they have assigned is Ministry of Commerce and Industries. Then second is Coir Board, Ministry of Heavy Industries. And third is National Center for Trade Information. They are saying Ministry of MSMEs. The National Automotive Board. So they're talking about automobile. From this we can correlate that it is related to automobile. Automobile are vehicles. So automobiles would come under Ministry of Heavy Industries. So as a result, this statement is wrong. And then coir. Coir is a very important byproduct of almond, especially coconut plantation. So they should definitely not be under the Ministry of Heavy Industries. So they are okay. So we could correlate that they are not a part of this ministry. And the third statement is talking about National Center for Trade and Information. The word trade. So here trade cannot be correlated with Ministry of MSME. Rather, it should be correlated with Ministry of Commerce and Industries. Let's go to the next question. So next question, statement 1. Some rare earth elements are used in manufacturing of flat television screens and computer monitors. So when we see the statement, they're saying some rare earth elements. So out of many rare earth elements, there can be at least one rare earth elements which could be used in flat televisions and computer monitors. We know from a fact that rare earth elements are used in electronic industries. So from this we can correlate that they could be used here. And the second statement saying some rare earth elements have phosphorescent properties. So phosphorescent properties are related to a concept of light. So light could be in turn correlated to computer monitors and TV screens. So as a result, we can correlate that the first statement is being explained by the second, and the answer is A. Let's go to the next question. This question is a typical question where if you see the pattern of this question, it has 3 statements: statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So this type of question was introduced in 2024. There were few questions in 2024, and in 2025 they increased the number of such questions, and I'm predicting that in 2026 there can be more such questions than it was in 2025. So in this type of question, Always the first statement is a fact and it will be correct. Fact and correct. So an aspirant shouldn't waste time in ensuring the correctness of the statement. So because since the statement is already correct, so no point in seeing whether the statement is correct or not. So read the statement and then go to the second statements. Okay, so let's try to read this question. Activated carbon is a good and an attractive tool to remove pollutants from effluent streams and to remediate contaminants from various industries. Okay, so this is a fact. Second statement is activated carbon exhibits a large surface area and a strong potential for absorbing heavy metals. So the first statement is saying that activated carbon is used to remove pollutants, and second is also talking about removing pollutants through large surface area and absorbing heavy metals. So we are able to correlate the first statement with the second. And talking about the third, activated carbon can be easily synthesized from environmental waste with high carbon content. Again, this is also a very much relatable and correlated statements. They can be correlated with first statement. So as a result, the answer should be A. Both statement 2 and statement 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1. Let's go to the next question. So this is about turmeric. Consider the following statements about turmeric during the year 2022 to 23. India is the largest producer and exporter of turmeric in the world. The first statement. Second, more than 30 varieties of turmeric are grown in India. And third statement is Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu are major turmeric producing states in India. When we talk about turmeric is used in every sphere of Indian culture, be it from food or religion, cosmetics and beauty products, medicine, Ayurveda. So since turmeric is related to all these things, and we have a very long history of turmeric use in India, so the chances of this statement becoming correct is more. So I am assuming that this statement is correct. And talking about the second statement, they are saying more than. So more than is considered as a green flag. So if more than was replaced with only 30 varieties, then the statement, so only is a red flag. The chances of the statement becoming wrong was more. So they're saying more than 30 varieties of turmeric are grown in India. And so during the examination hall, a fact actually struck my mind. The fact was, I knew that rice variety in India was more than 30,000. We had more than 30,000 rice variety. So since the rice itself is more than 30,000 variety, why can't the turmeric be more than 30? So there is a very high possibility that this can be correct. And now, third statement. The reason why I am solving this question under the correlation based topic is that, so because of this option. So here they are saying Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu are major turmeric producing states. I knew by a fact that turmeric is grown in tropical region, so it requires a tropical climate. And I also knew that few South Indian states, turmeric was grown. And if you see the arrangement of the states, they are contiguous in nature. Karnataka, so Karnataka's east you will find Telangana, and to the north you will find Maharashtra, and to the south you will find Tamil Nadu. So since they are contiguous, so even if a crop is grown in Tamil Nadu, there is a very high chance that that will be grown in contiguous region. So I considered even this as correct. I would be ending this part 2 of PYQ analysis with this question. If you feel that this video has added some value to your preparation, especially keeping in mind the prelims paper on 24th of this month, so please do consider subscribing. Thank you. Jai Hind.